Welcome to Speed Talking with Fora, a weekly debrief that keeps you up to date on the latest trends in travel. Here's your host, Henley Vasquez.
Hey everybody, I'm Henley. I'm the co-founder of Fora, a modern travel agency that empowers anyone with the love of travel to build a business they love. Now, before we kick off this week's episode, I wanted to just take a minute and acknowledge what's going on in the world. You don't come here for news, but we are a travel business. And by being a travel business, that means that often our business is impacted by world events, Maui, Morocco, and now Israel. There's not the right words, I think, to express what we're all feeling at the moment. Our friends, our families, partners of our advisors who are actually on the ground in Israel, as well as our partners, our suppliers, and our tour operators. Our thoughts are with them. We are talking constantly in our community about what we can do to support. It didn't feel genuine to kick off the fun and the industry gossip that you come here for without first saying, we're all watching and we're hoping this comes to an end soon. With that, we will move into Taylor Swift, but know that our hearts are with you. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the frivolous stuff because sometimes we need a good distraction, and we certainly do right now. Thank you, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, for offering that to us. What we're really digging into today isn't who she's dating, although we're obviously all watching that. We are going to talk about Swiftonomics and how it affects travel. The numbers here are bonkers. I get this great little brief pulled together for me with data so that we can know what we're talking about in a number sense, not just kind of what we think. When I opened this one up, I couldn't believe the numbers. So I'm just going to go through some of these for you guys so you can understand the impact that Taylor Swift and her tour has had on cities around the US, and that's going to be coming to around the world. All right, it's record breaking. You know that. The US Travel Association has predicted that Swifties have already directly spent $5 billion in destinations around the US alone, and the total economic impact is likely to exceed $10 billion. This is not just their spending, but also the spending of people who come along. Maybe they won't be attending the concert, but they're going out to dinner beforehand. They're buying merchandise. The Washington Post actually looked at what's the average spend of someone attending a Taylor Swift concert. About $1,300. That includes the tickets, the outfits, of course, and the travel, lodging, and the extras. This is about $93 million in spend per show. Okay, so we know not everyone can find tickets to a show that's in their city. So lots of people are traveling to other cities because either that's where they got their tickets or they're going there to join friends who had seats that they could use. So let's look at what the impact is on the hotels. Well, okay, so far, $208 million in hotel spend. That's what the impact is. We wanted to look into some specific cities to see what did it feel like for the hotels that were there. We can tell you anecdotally what it felt like is they were very busy, they were very full, and they were very thankful for all these folks coming in to stay with them. But let's look specifically at two spots, LA and Pittsburgh. So LA had 6 shows. That marked the end of the first part of the tour. They benefited from a total economic impact of $320 million, as well as 3,300 jobs created. Really big deal for a city. We know that those hotels, actually, a lot of them have not returned to the levels of occupancy that they had pre-pandemic. So yay. Thanks, Taylor. Now, Pittsburgh, okay, 2 concerts there generated $46 million in direct spending. So direct spending there. And 83% of those that were attending, they didn't live in the area. So it brought in people, they checked into hotels, and they actually created the highest weekend occupancy post-pandemic and the second highest weekend occupancy ever. Sorry, Steelers, it wasn't you. It was the singer who did it. Now, her international tour is going to start in Buenos Aires. So if you did not get tickets here, maybe you're heading to BA or maybe you're heading elsewhere in the world. I know that here at 4HQ, we have folks going to Madrid. We also have folks going to London. So we are flying there, and we wanted to talk a bit about what to do and where to stay if you are getting those tickets to somewhere else. One thing to point out, if you cannot jet off to London to go see Taylor, that's okay. There's her movie, which is out now. And you know what? $37 million of spend in the movie opening weekend. Crazy. Now, if you've got tickets, there's one more stop here in the US. That's in Indianapolis. We checked in with some local advisors to get some favorite spots to stay. That's November 1 to 3. Everybody loves the Conrad. So you've got those tickets, try to get yourself a room at the Conrad. We're big fans. But if you are moving into the international world, and why not? What a great chance to take a trip. We've also seen people doing this for Beyonce. Check into a fabulous hotel. So Argentina first, I love the Park Hyatt. The Park Hyatt, it's in the neighborhood of Recoleta, has a gorgeous garden, a spa inside with a great indoor pool, beautiful rooms. And remember that there's two parts of this hotel, just in case you're confused. There's the older part, which has the classic rooms in it. And then there's the modern tower that's big and glassy, great views, pick and choose. But this is the place to start the Taylor Swift tour with Taylor and in style. Moving into other spots, take a look at our Instagram. We've actually detailed a few that we really love. Starting in Tokyo, the Trunk Hotel. This one is chic. It is a little bit more boutique, a little bit less expensive too, in case it costs you a lot to get to Tokyo and to buy those tickets. Down into Sydney, Four Seasons. We love the Four Seasons, but also look at the Capella, which is recently opened, not right on the harbor, but the design is to die for. Moving up into Asia, Singapore, Mandarin Oriental, big fans, and then into Europe, there are so many stops and so many hotels to see. These come from the mouths of our advisors, so this isn't just me picking hotels out of nowhere. These are actually some that our advisors picked as favorites. So let's go through them. In Stockholm, the Lidmar. In Madrid, the Via Magna, which is now a Rosewood, so big new renovation, big new opening. In Edinburgh, Kimpton Charlotte Square. London, St. James Hotels, getting a lot of bookings for folks going that way. Dublin, the Intercontinental was the top pick for Dublin. And then Zurich, 25 Hours Hotel. So 25 Hours, if you're not familiar with that brand, it's small. It's, again, a little bit more affordable than some of the other ones that we've mentioned and generally has some pretty funky design. So take a look and see if it vibes with you. It does with a lot of the younger clientele, or if it feels a little bit too much, but I like it. Okay, so key takeaways. Taylor Swift, this woman is driving spend in communities all over the world, and that is a good thing. Cities, resorts, everywhere, they really thrive on the tourism dollars that come in. And it's not just the tickets that are sold to the show. It's where people stay, where they eat, what they buy while they're there, how they get there. Is it a rental car? Is it a flight? But she's putting heads on beds, butts in seats, and dollars into restaurants and other businesses in the locations where she's going. And we are here for that. So regardless of how you may feel about her music or her personal life, which we're loving, we feel pretty darn good about the economic benefits that her tour has brought to the US and now to the world. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't travel too far before hitting follow and subscribe. Check in next week for the newest episode of Speed Talking with Fora and our take on what's currently happening in the wild world of travel.